In the vast emptiness of interstellar space, the UNSS Behemoth moved silently through the void. At 17 kilometers long, it was humanity's greatest achievement, a generation ship carrying 50,000 souls toward the star system Kepler 442, where Earth's long-range telescopes had detected potentially habitable worlds. Captain Jinwoo stood on the observation deck, his weathered face illuminated by the distant stars. The ship had been his home for 23 years, nearly half his life. 3 generations had been born aboard since their departure from Earth 70 years prior. They were the pioneers, the bridge between humanity's cradle and its future among the stars. Captain, his first officer Yoonji called through the comm. Sensors are detecting an anomaly. At the edge of the Oort cloud equivalent we're approaching. Jinwoo straightened. Define anomaly. Unknown, sir, but it's not natural. The object appears to be changing course to intercept. A chill ran down Jinwoo's spine. In all their years of travel, they had never encountered anything like this. He tapped his comm badge. All senior officers to the command center immediately. The corridors of the Behemoth hummed with activity as Jinwoo made his way to the command center. People nodded respectfully as he passed. Many were third-generation shipborne who had never known Earth except through stories and simulations. The command center buzzed with focused energy as officers worked at their stations. The main screen showed a strange object, glittering against the blackness of space. It moved in ways that defied natural physics. Report, Jinwoo demanded as he took his seat. Tahoe, the science officer, looked up from his console. The object is approximately 2 kilometers in length. Its composition is unusual. Our sensors can't make sense of it. It seems to be partly crystalline, partly energy-based. And it's definitely coming toward us. Jinwoo asked. Yoonji nodded. Yes, sir. It changed course precisely when we entered its sensor range. That suggests intelligence. A hush fell over the command center. First contact, the possibility they had trained for, but never truly expected. How long until intercept? Jinwoo asked. At current speeds, 48 hours. Haisu, the tactical officer, replied. Jinwoo stood and faced his crew. Initiate first contact protocols. We've prepared for this. Alert all section heads and begin crew briefings. I want everyone ready. As the crew dispersed to their tasks, Jinwoo remained staring at the screen. Humanity had sent probes with messages of peace into the cosmos for centuries. They had broadcast signals into space, but no answer had ever come. Until now. That night, Jinwoo couldn't sleep. He walked the agricultural dome, where trees from Earth grew under artificial light. Young children played among them, laughing. These children, born in space, might be the first humans to meet another intelligent species. Troubled, Captain? A voice asked. Jinwoo turned to see Dr. Suman, the ship's historian. Her job was to preserve Earth's culture and history for future generations. Thinking about what lies ahead, Jinwoo admitted, everything could change tomorrow. Suman smiled. Change is the only constant. Our ancestors left Earth knowing they might never return. They embraced the unknown. So must we. The next morning, the alien object had closed half the distance. Now they could see it better. It looked like a giant crystal, fragments reflecting light like a diamond. But parts of it seemed to shift and flow like water. It's beautiful, whispered Yoonji. It's slowing down, announced Tahoe, matching our speed. They're being careful, Jinwoo noted. That's a good sign. Suddenly, the comm system crackled. Strange sounds came through, rhythmic pulses that didn't sound random. They're trying to communicate, Minsu, the communications specialist, said excitedly. Basic binary patterns, 1, 2, 3, followed by mathematical constants. Respond in kind, Jinwoo ordered. Then send our first contact package. Hours passed as the two vessels exchanged increasingly complex messages. The alien craft continued to approach, but slowly, respectfully. They're requesting visual communication, Minsu announced late in the day. Jinwoo straightened his uniform, put it on screen. The main screen flickered. What appeared wasn't a face, but a swirling pattern of light and color. It shifted constantly, like a living kaleidoscope. "Greetings from the United Nations Starship Behemoth," Jinwoo said clearly. "We come in peace as explorers." The pattern swirled faster, and from the speakers came a voice, synthesized but understandable. "Greetings, explorers from Earth. We are the Lumina. We have watched your journey with great interest." Jinwoo's heart pounded in his chest. "You know of Earth. We monitor this sector of space. Your signals have reached us for many of your years. We did not expect to find you traveling between stars so soon. We are on our way to a new home," Jinwoo explained. "A journey of many generations." The pattern of light shifted again. "Your determination is unexpected. Most species wait until they can travel faster than light. Your willingness to commit generations to this journey is remarkable." Pride swelled in Jinwoo's chest. "It is our nature to explore, to seek new frontiers." "We would learn more of your nature," the Lumina responded. "Would you permit an exchange of knowledge?" Jinwoo looked around at his officers, who nodded eagerly. "We would welcome that exchange." "Prepare for our arrival," the Lumina said. "We will teach you things that will help your journey. And perhaps you will teach us about courage and patience." As the communication ended, cheers erupted throughout the command center. Tears streamed down faces. Humanity was not alone in the universe, and their first encounter promised friendship rather than fear. Jinwoo looked out at the stars, thinking of all the generations that had dreamed of this moment. They had launched the behemoth into the void on faith alone. Now that faith was rewarded. Whatever came next, humanity's great journey had found its first milestone. The shuttle Artemis detached from the behemoth, carrying Captain Jinwoo, Dr. Minsu, and a small diplomatic team toward the alien vessel. As they approached, the crystalline ship emanated a soft blue glow, portions of its surface becoming transparent to reveal internal chambers. "They're showing us their internal structure," Minsu whispered. "It's a gesture of transparency, literal transparency." A beam of light connected the two vessels, solidifying into what appeared to be a translucent bridge. "They're inviting us aboard," Jinwoo realized. Jinwoo looked at his team. They had trained for this moment, but no training could truly prepare them. Engineer Do-Yun checked his tablet one last time. "Air readings are normal. The bridge appears stable," he reported. Jinwoo nodded. "I'll go first." "Captain," Yoonji objected through the comm link from the behemoth. "Protocol states." "Protocol didn't anticipate a light bridge to an alien ship," Jinwoo said firmly. "This is my responsibility." He stepped onto the bridge. It felt solid under his boots despite looking like frozen light. The material hummed softly. Each step sent ripples of color through the structure. The rest of the team followed. Minsu's eyes were wide with wonder. Specialist Haeun recorded everything with the camera built into her suit. Medical Officer Chunho kept checking his instruments. Heart rates elevated, but within expected parameters, Chunho reported. No sign of harmful radiation. At the end of the bridge, they faced what looked like a wall of flowing water. Colors swirled across its surface. Blues, purples, and colors they had no names for. Minsu stepped forward. "I believe this is an entrance." As if responding to his words, the wall parted like a curtain. They stepped through into a vast chamber that seemed larger than the ship should allow. "Spatial distortion technology," Do-Yun breathed in awe. "They've manipulated the dimensions." The chamber had no sharp edges. Everything flowed into everything else. The floor, walls, and ceiling all glowed with soft light. And then they appeared. The lumina emerged from the walls themselves. They had no fixed shape. They were like living light, flowing and shifting constantly. Some were blue, others gold or silver. They moved like water but glowed like stars. "Are they made of energy?" Haeun whispered. "Or is this some kind of projection?" The largest of the light beings approached. It hovered before Jinwoo, pulsing gently. A voice filled the room, though no one seemed to speak. "Welcome, travelers from Earth. We are the Lumina. We have waited long to meet other minds among the stars." The translation came through their earpieces, converted from mathematical patterns the Lumina sent directly to their shuttle's computers. Jinwoo bowed slightly. "We thank you for your welcome. I am Captain Jinwoo of the UNSS Behemoth. We represent humanity and the nations of Earth." The Lumina being pulsed brighter. "Your journey is remarkable. Your ship crosses the void between stars, though your bodies are fragile and your lives short. We seek new homes," Jinwoo explained. "Our journey will take generations, but we believe the future is worth the sacrifice." The Lumina being seemed to consider this. It changed color slightly, shifting from blue to purple. "We do not understand sacrifice as you do. Our forms live for thousands of your years. We can travel faster than light, yet you attempt what seems impossible with your limited technology. It is admirable." Min-Soo stepped forward. "We hope to learn from you, to understand more about the universe we share." The Lumina pulsed in what seemed like agreement. Knowledge should flow freely between minds. "Come." The chamber changed around them. Suddenly, they stood among stars, a three-dimensional map of the galaxy. Specific points glowed brighter than others. "These are worlds where life has emerged," the Lumina explained. "These brighter points are worlds with intelligence. And this," a tiny blue dot appeared, "is your Earth." The team stared in wonder. Hundreds of bright points filled the galaxy. They were not alone. Far from it. "Why have we never detected signals from these civilizations?" Haeun asked. "Most use methods of communication you cannot yet detect," the Lumina answered. "Light and radio are primitive means. Thoughts can travel faster." "You communicate with thoughts?" Min-Soo asked, fascinated. "Among our kind, yes. With you, we use methods you can understand." Another Lumina approached. This one glowed golden. It circled Juno, seeming fascinated by him. "Your bodies contain so much water," it observed. "You are complex chemical reactions sustained by consuming other life forms." "Fascinating." Junho looked uncomfortable. "And what are you made of?" "We began as beings like you," the Golden Lumina explained. "Over millions of years, we evolved. We learned to convert our matter to energy and back. We exist between states." The team spent hours with the Lumina, learning about their history and culture. The Lumina had no concept of war or conquest. They explored purely for knowledge. They had visited thousands of worlds but rarely interfered with developing species. "Why did you approach us?" Jinwoo asked finally. The blue Lumina pulsed thoughtfully. "Your ship is different. Most species wait until they develop faster travel. Your generational approach speaks of determination we rarely see. You commit to a journey knowing those who begin it will not see its end. This perspective interests us." As their visit neared its end, the Lumina presented them with a gift, a small crystal that pulsed with inner light. "This contains navigational data," the blue Lumina explained. "It will help you avoid dangers in your path. It also contains basic principles of energy manipulation that may help your journey." Jinwoo accepted it with a formal bow. "We are deeply grateful. When next we meet," the Lumina said, "perhaps you will teach us about courage and sacrifice. These are concepts we wish to understand better." As the human team prepared to leave, the Golden Lumina approached Haeun. It extended what seemed like a tendril of light. "May I?" it asked. Cautiously, Haeun extended her hand. The light touched her skin. She gasped. "It's warm," she said. "And I can't explain it. Like it's saying goodbye directly to my mind." The blue Lumina addressed Jinwoo one last time. "You are not alone in this vast darkness, humans. Remember that when your journey seems long." As they crossed the light bridge back to their shuttle, the team was quiet, each lost in their own thoughts. Humanity had made first contact, And it had gone better than anyone could have dreamed. "They're so advanced," Do-Yun said finally, "yet they treated us as equals." Jinwoo nodded. "Perhaps that's the most important lesson they taught us today." The shuttle detached and headed back toward the behemoth. Behind them, the crystalline ship of the Lumina glowed like a star against the blackness of space. The Lumina were ancient travelers, having explored their galaxy for millennia. Yet humanity's achievements stunned them. Through increasingly sophisticated translation, they conveyed their astonishment. "Your vessel, constructed by carbon-based entities with lifespans measured in mere decades, is unprecedented," their representative communicated. "Species typically achieve interstellar capability after developing non-organic consciousness or extreme lifespan extension. Humans are impatient," Jinwoo replied with a smile. "We couldn't wait to see what's out there." The Lumina's response was unexpected. Respect bordering on reverence. Humanity had accomplished what other young species could not, maintaining social cohesion and technological advancement despite their biological limitations. The behemoth's journey, 50,000 humans living, dying, and continuing their mission across generations, represented a profound commitment the Lumina had observed in no other species. They offered to share navigation data, identifying habitable systems and potential dangers along the behemoth's path. The main meeting hall of the behemoth buzzed with excitement. Jinwoo sat across from the Lumina representatives, who hovered above their seats as swirling masses of light. Around the table sat the ship's council, department heads from every section of the massive vessel. "We wish to understand more about your social structure," said the blue Lumina who had first greeted them. "How do you maintain unity of purpose across generations?" Yoonji, the cultural director, leaned forward. "We teach our children from birth that they are part of something greater than themselves. The journey is our shared story." The Lumina pulsed with interest. Jinwoo had learned this meant they were processing new information. "And you never experience rebellion, rejection of the mission?" asked a smaller golden Lumina. Jinwoo exchanged glances with the council members. Honesty seemed the best approach. "We have had challenges," he admitted. 20 years ago, a group wanted to turn back to Earth. 5 years before that, another group wanted to stop at a different star system. How did you resolve these conflicts? The Lumina's light pattern intensified. "Through discussion, through voting, sometimes through compromise," said Tahoe, the eldest council member. "We remember that we must stay together to survive. Division would doom us all." The Lumina conferred among themselves, their lights blending briefly. "This ability to resolve conflict without destruction is rare," the blue Lumina finally said. "Many species we have observed from afar destroyed themselves before reaching the stars." The meeting continued for hours. The Lumina were fascinated by human art, music, and literature. They had no concept of fiction, creating stories about things that never happened. Why invest energy in imagining what is not real? A purple Lumina asked after viewing a recording of a play performed by the ship's theater group. Minji, the arts director, smiled. "Fiction helps us explore possibilities. It prepares us for different futures. And it brings us joy." "Joy," the Lumina repeated. "This concept is important to your species." "Very," Jinwoo confirmed. "Without joy, without beauty and meaning, the journey would be merely survival." In return, the Lumina shared knowledge. They projected star maps showing systems along the behemoth's planned route. They highlighted dangers, radiation fields, unstable stars, even territories claimed by non-communicative species. "These beings here," the blue Lumina indicated a region 10 light-years from their current position, "do not welcome visitors. Their technology is primitive but aggressive. You should alter your course to avoid detection." Jiho, the navigation officer, made careful notes. "This will save us years of travel time, and possibly save lives." The exchange deepened over several days. The Lumina requested permission to study human biology. With proper consent, they observed medical procedures and physical training sessions. Your bodies constantly repair themselves, observed a silver lumina in the medical bay. Yet this process is imperfect. You age and die. Dr. Chono nodded. That is our nature. We accept it. And yet you built a ship that will outlive all of you, the lumina noted. You work for a future you will never see. That is also our nature, Chono replied. On the 5th day, the lumina made an unexpected offer. Their lead representative floated into the council chamber with a small device that glowed with inner light. We wish to give you a gift, the blue lumina announced. This contains principles of energy efficiency beyond your current science. It will allow you to increase your propulsion capacity by approximately 40% without additional fuel consumption. The council members stared in amazement. Such technology would cut years off their journey. This is extremely generous, Jinwoo said carefully. May I ask why you choose to share such advanced technology with us? The lumina pulsed thoughtfully. We have existed for over 50,000 of your years. In that time, we have observed many developing species. Most destroy themselves. Some survive but remain isolated on their home worlds. A few reach the stars, but usually only after extending their lives artificially or creating mechanical successors. The blue lumina moved closer to Jinwoo. You are different. You accept your biological limitations, yet refuse to be bound by them. You have found a third path, collaboration across generations. This approach deserves to succeed. That evening, as the Lumina ship prepared to depart, Jinwoo stood with them in the docking bay. Engineers were already studying the energy device, their faces alight with excitement. We have one final question, the blue Lumina said. Your ship carries the combined knowledge of your species. It contains your art, your science, your history. If it were destroyed, much would be lost forever. Does this responsibility not weigh heavily upon you? Jinwoo considered this. It does, but we carry Earth within us, not just in our databases, but in our hearts and minds. Each of us is a living piece of humanity. As long as some survive, our essence continues. The luminous light pattern changed to a color Jinwoo had not seen before, a deep, rich purple with flecks of gold. We have existed so long that we sometimes forget what it means to truly live, Captain Jinwoo. Your species reminds us. We will watch your journey with great interest. As the Lumina representatives returned to their ship, Jinwoo felt a sense of profound change. Humanity had not only made first contact, they had made first friends among the stars. The blue Lumina paused at the airlock, its form shimmering. We travel much faster than you, Captain. Perhaps we shall meet again before you reach your destination. We would welcome that, Jinwoo replied. The Lumina ship departed that night, a crystal streak against the darkness. But they left behind more than technology. They left hope. Humanity was not alone in the universe, and their unique approach to the stars had earned them respect among those who had traveled there long before. When Jinwoo returned to the behemoth, he brought with him more than information. The Lumina had provided energy conversion technology that would cut their journey time in half and techniques for resource extraction that would ensure their supplies lasted. More importantly, they returned with the knowledge that humanity was not alone and was respected among the stars. On the observation deck, Jinwoo addressed the ship's population through the central communication system. Today marks not the end of our journey, but a new beginning. The Lumina have promised to spread word of humanity's arrival among the 17 spacefaring civilizations they know. When we reach Kepler 442, we will not be establishing an isolated colony, but the newest outpost of an interstellar community. The behemoth continued its journey, no longer just a vessel carrying human hopes and dreams, but an ambassador of a species whose determination had earned them a place among the stars. The Lumina vessel accompanied them for several weeks before departing with a promise. We will meet again, humans of Earth. Your children's children will not journey alone. Across the vastness of space, humanity's colossal ship sailed on, no longer just a testament to human engineering, but a symbol of humanity's place in a wider cosmos. The first changes came quickly. Engineers worked day and night to integrate the Lumina energy technology into the behemoth's systems. Within a month, the massive engines operated at efficiency levels once thought impossible. "We're now moving 30% faster," Taiho reported during the council meeting, "and fuel consumption is actually lower than before." Jinwoo nodded. "How does this affect our arrival time?" "We'll reach Kepler 442 in 28 years instead of 53, Taiho said, unable to hide his excitement. "Many of us will live to see our new home." A murmur ran through the council chamber. The original mission plan had accepted that only the children and grandchildren of the current crew would see their destination. Now, everything had changed. The luminous ship remained nearby for several weeks. They shared more knowledge daily. Resource specialists learned new ways to recycle materials. Farm managers discovered methods to increase crop yields. Medical staff received information about extending human health. But the greatest change was in the people themselves. Hope spread through the behemoth like light. Children played games pretending to be Lumina, glowing and shifting. Adults planned what they would do when they reached their new home. "I never expected to see another planet," said Minji as she stood with Jinwoo in the agricultural dome. "Now I might walk under an alien sun." The Lumina had changed more than their journey time. They had changed humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. 6 weeks after first contact, Jinwoo received a message. The Lumina wished to speak with him privately. He met their representative in the communication center. "We must continue our own journey soon," the blue Lumina told him. "But before we go, we wish to share something important." The Lumina projected a star map showing systems far beyond Kepler 442. "There are 17 known spacefaring civilizations in this region of the galaxy. Most are much older than humanity. Some might seem strange or frightening to you, but all have agreed to a basic principle of non-interference with developing worlds." "And Earth was considered a developing world?" Jinwoo asked. "Yes, until now." The Lumina's color deepened. "Your journey aboard the behemoth has changed that status. You have shown remarkable determination and cooperation. The Council of Elder Species has agreed. Humanity will be welcomed as a new voice in galactic affairs." Jinwoo struggled to grasp the implications. "You mean when we reach Kepler 442, we'll be able to communicate with these other civilizations?" "More than that," the Lumina responded. "Representatives will be waiting for you. Your colony will not develop in isolation, but as part of a larger community." That night, Jinwoo gathered the entire ship's population. Over 50,000 people watched on screens throughout the behemoth as he shared the news. Children sat on parents' shoulders. Elders leaned forward in their chairs. "For all of human history, we have looked up at the stars and wondered if we were alone," Jinwoo said. "Today, we know the answer. The universe is filled with life and intelligence, and they are waiting to welcome us." Cheers erupted throughout the ship. People hugged and cried. Some danced. In the farm sectors, they held impromptu feasts. In the education centers, teachers struggled to answer endless questions from excited children. On the final day before the Lumina departed, they invited all the ship's children to visit their vessel. Over 5,000 young humans, ages 5 to 15, crossed the light bridge in carefully organized groups. They returned with small crystal tokens, gifts from the Lumina that glowed softly in the dark and showed holographic images of stars and planets. "They wanted our children to have a physical reminder that they are not alone," Yoonji explained, "something to pass down to their own children." The departure of the Lumina ship was a solemn moment. The entire crew gathered at viewing ports to watch. The crystalline vessel glowed brilliantly, then seemed to fold in on itself before disappearing in a flash of light. But they had left behind a communication device. Once each month, the behemoth could send a brief message to update the galactic community on their progress. Life aboard the ship found a new rhythm. People worked with renewed purpose. The knowledge that their journey would end within their lifetime changed everything. Classes in the education centers now included information about other civilizations. Artists created works imagining life among the stars. 2 years after the Lumina's departure, during a routine monthly communication, a surprise message came back. Another ship was approaching. Not Lumina this time, but a species called the Vosh. They were curious about humanity and requested permission to visit. Jinwoo smiled as he read the message to the council. It seems the Lumina kept their promise. We're becoming known among the stars. The massive behemoth continued its journey through the darkness of space, but it was no longer alone. Ahead lay not just a new planet, but a new chapter for humanity, as citizens of a much larger community than they had ever imagined. The end.